Hey, Teabaggers, this is a response to your stupidity on Saturday, September 12th, 2009. What the fuck? Okay, so you stood up and protested. You stood up and used your right as an American to speak out against something you didn't like. Okay, I can understand that. I'm not denouncing that. You know why? Because when I wanted to use that right, I was told I was un-American for doing it. Because years ago, I protested against a war that I thought was wrong. I protested against a president with policies that I thought were wrong. And guess what? I was right. It created a whole bunch of bullshit, didn't it? But you know what? You, the same people who marched around on Saturday, called me un-American. What the fuck? You called me un-American because I opposed President Bush, his illegal war, and his illegal and hurtful policies. And yet now, it's okay to protest against a president whose policies you see as hurtful. How is spending $3 trillion on an illegal war not hurtful? And spending $1 trillion on healthcare reform, which would have only cost us about $300 billion 8 years ago before everybody decided to be do-nothing nobodies about shit. Okay, how is that hurtful? Yet spending $3 trillion on a war isn't. Logic clearly dictates that 1 trillion is less than 3 trillion. Let's debunk some of the myths that we're seeing in the videos coming out of Saturday's Teabagger March, okay? Here we go. Myth number 1, and this one is the most important, okay? Barack Hussein Obama II, with no emphasis on any part of his name other than where the accents and pronunciation should be, is a United States citizen. This was signed off on by the Republican governor of Hawaii. Republican governor. Here it is, from everybody's favorite source, Wikipedia. For persons born between December 24th, 1952 and November 14th, 1986, a person is a U.S. citizen if all of the following are true. One of the person's parents was a U.S. citizen when the person in question was born. The citizen parent lived at least 10 years in the United States before his or her child's birth, and a minimum of 5 of these 10 years in the United States were after the citizen parent's 14th birthday. Hello! That makes Barry Obama a citizen! That little birth certificate you conservatards have been carrying around, it's an Australian forgery, kids. They don't print birth certificates in Kenya in English, I don't think. Myth number 2. There were millions at the rally. There have been reports of between tens of thousands, upwards of 2 million people at the Teabagger rally on Saturday. And conservative bloggers have been passing around a picture that they say shows an aerial photograph of their handiwork. This picture is from a Promise Keepers rally in 1997, and while still a Christian function, is most certainly not a Teabagger picture. If the Teabagger movement's lucky, they had 60,000 people on hand in Washington D.C. on Saturday. If they're lucky, that is most certainly not a moral majority. Myth number 3. The policies of the Obama administration are leading America to socialism. America already has socialist programs and has for decades, including Social Security, welfare, Medicare, and veterans benefits. If anything, I say we protest against the fascism that a theocracy would bring to this country. It's not a Christian nation, kids. Sorry. Myth number 4. Barack Hussein Obama is a secret Muslim. No. People, come on. He's not a secret Muslim. Nobody in the White House sees him kneeling down facing Mecca at any time of the day when they are supposed to do that sort of thing. Okay? He has admitted that he is Christian, And he goes to church just like you people. So calm down. And our final myth today, Glenn Beck is an awesome guy. No. If Glenn Beck were an awesome guy, he'd actually be doing good for this country instead of continuing the Reaganist policy of division. Ronald Reagan was an asshole, folks. He wasn't the greatest president alive, okay? He was the great divider, not the great communicator. He was a wordsmith, oh yeah, and he was way closer to Hitler than Obama was. Let me tell you why. That man divided this country like never before, okay? He turned people against each other like never before, all right? He used words like welfare queens to create a thinly veiled racist fog that turned this country upside down for 8 years. His policies destroyed America. Bush continued them. It took Clinton to fix them, even though Clinton did some stupid shit himself. All right? We ain't making Bill Clinton a saint here. But then George W. Bush came along and took everything that Clinton worked for and that Congress worked for, the budget surplus, the good times, and thrashed them in the name of an illegal war. And we're blaming all this economic mess on Barry Obama. And we're using some sort of circular reasoning that's coming out of the mouth of Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, you are a sick, sorry human being. Really. I really do hope that someone smacks you, and as you're recovering from the concussion, you come to realize that the stuff you're doing and the stuff you're saying, it's just not doing anything good for this country. All right? There's no way, no possible way that anything you say could have any positive effect on anyone's life, let alone the life of an entire nation. So please, just apologize for this tomfoolery, this nonsense, inspiring this hatred and this bile, and just go away. Ah.